I bought the file for Drowzee from the same person that I got the file for my Charmander. I removed the head from this model and replaced it with the head from a different model that I found on Thingiverse that just had a better expression. Once I chopped the file up and decided the movements I wanted, it was time to start printing parts and trying for the motions with different servos. On Drowzee, we decided we wanted head movement in addition to eye movement and trunk movement. Once I got everything figured out and installed in the head, I decided to test it using my old remote control components. They were not going to be needed on this project because the movements I was planning exceeded the capability of the electronics. But we got the eyes looking around and the trunk working. Alright guys, we are in my dad's workshop right now, mainly just because he's got much better lighting than I do. And in front of me we have a box of Drowzee. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces counting the already put together head. We are going to put together the body of Drowzee. It's at this moment that my microphone dies, and so I proceed to spend about the next 3 minutes yapping to myself. Enjoy those 3 minutes condensed into about 25 seconds of work, soldering and melting the pieces together. And once again, we want to thank Polymaker for sending us the PLA to get this project done. They are an unbelievable asset to help the channel, and we thank them very much. Now, if I didn't have skin on this, you really wouldn't be able to see what I mean with the breathing mechanism. So I taped a rag to the front, and you can see the idea that the chest inflates and deflates as it's breathing. Just like that. Now we take the rag off and you can see the mechanism. Just a simple push rod. So as it sits, this is Drowzee. Now we still have to do a lot. We've got to build a back plate for him just to hide the electronics. We've got to get the servo in the neck. We've got to get the Arduino code written and the hardware put together. Also, got to build another head to use as our mold for the latex skin. So, it may look like we're close, but I assure you we still got a lot of work to do. And here is our Drowzee with the Arduino Nano programmed and installed. At this point, I had planned on using latex for the head, so you see no ears, but we would end up having to go back and just decide to use fleece and sew patterns instead. So I made a sewing pattern for the head and used Polymaker TPU filament to make somewhat flexible ears in comparison to the hard PLA of the head. You'll actually notice the white pantyhose over the nose because at this point I was still planning on using liquid latex to make the nose instead of fabric. We ended up sewing a nose out of our fleece, and in hindsight, this should have been the decision from the get-go, but as you can see, everything's starting to look like a Drowzee instead of a nightmare. Let's talk about the breathing mechanism. I originally had a 360 rotating servo in this mount, but I didn't like how it sounded and it just drained the battery out of the unit, so I told the Arduino to just make this movement with a basic servo, and it's just a gentle push and pull, and it gives us the movement we're looking for in the breathing mechanism under the skin. And here you can see the method behind the madness. We've got the bit of stomach skin installed to simulate the breathing, and we wanted to make sure this worked right before we fully skinned Drowzee and got to the paint and everything like that. And just like that, with the final coat of fur and paint for the lower extremities, we have a Drowzee. So after about a month of work and I'd say 4 kilos of filament, a lot of fabric, a new operating system, and a lot of time, I have a Drowzee now. Now I've got a cool way that I plan on taking it to a convention, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. This was my first ground up Arduino project, and I think it turned out pretty well. I want to thank Polymaker for sending the filament to let us do this. These big builds are trouble, but they help ease it. So thanks again to Polymaker. I don't really know what I'm gonna make yet for the next project, but I assure you, you guys are gonna know when it comes time. Until then, thank you for watching the progress. Thank you for watching the video. I'm Officer Granite. We'll see you next time. Bye.